And we are set now for the Big Banana, the 250 main event. Is it going to be Johnson? Is it going to be Ward? Well, you're going to find out. And remember, that hole shot is all important. As these riders, that gate drops and they rock it down that front straightaway at about 65 miles an hour. Johnson with a bad start, back in about mid-pack. And Wardy goes for the triples. He's tied up with Johnson for the series lead. And Johnson is running 8th. Jeff Ward in front. Ronnie Lechien, his teammate, in second. If Lechien can stay upright, he's going to finish in second or first. He's a hard charger. 17, Eddie Warren in third. Here comes number 19, and Jeff Lee's going into third. Ward and Johnson each had 129 points coming into this race, and Johnson knows he's got to catch Ward. And this is what happened in Seattle 1 week ago tonight. Wardy got a good start, Johnson got a bad start, and Johnson put the pressure on him until he passed him. But we're in the early stages of a 20-lap main, and Johnson is in fourth. Going for third right now. He's got it. Jeff Ward on the gas on the KX250 Kawasaki. Looking good. He'll pick up a bunch of points on Johnson if they finish in this order. 25 points for first, 22 for second, 20 for third, and down the line they go. But Johnson, now watch Johnson and Lechien. They're both well over 6 feet tall, both from El Cajon, California. Very similar riding styles. Lechien is, number 9, is a little more wild than Johnson. And he's going to try to block Johnson, and Johnson goes the inside. Lechien slams the screen door in his face. Wardy, number 3. Johnson psyched him out last week in Seattle. Can Ward withstand the pressure if Johnson gets by Lechien? Lechien is going to stick to Johnson's rear tire, but Ricky's starting to pull away. Wardy suddenly has got a blood-red Honda on his back wheel, about 5 seconds back. Well, here is what Johnson likes to do best. Start slow and then put the pressure on, pick off riders. The crowd turns him on. He responds to the crowd, and now he is reeling in Ward. And Jeff Ward is going to have one hell of a battle in just a few moments if Johnson gets close enough to strike. It's the signal that Ward's mechanic gave him was push now, to let him know that Johnson is gaining on him. Now they're getting into traffic. And look at Johnson. He's riding like a madman. And he's right up behind Wardy. And now they're getting into traffic. Can Johnson pass him? And it's Ward number 3 into the slabs of base sandpit. Johnson riding like a madman in second. Comes right up behind Ward. Can Ward withstand the pressure? screaming him on. Wardy going over the jumps, heading for the tunnel. Johnson running his back tire. Through the whoops. Johnson right up on the tries to single wheel to the inside. Ward sets an oar. Over the jump. Johnson's almost side by side. Holy Toledo. He's got a wheel on the inside. He's got him. Johnson takes the lead. A beautiful move by Johnson on the inside. And what's Wardy going to do now? Is he going to back off? He tries to hammer back at Johnson. Ricky Johnson opens up the lead. And it is goodbye, mama. Katie bar the door. Ward is staying about 2 seconds behind Johnson. So he's still close enough to strike. But I don't know. Johnson just looks so good, so awesome. It's hard to try to overtake him for these riders. He has just been winning everything inside lately. Number 1, Ricky Johnson. Factory Honda. As Johnson picks his way through traffic. But look at Ward. He's getting up. He's moving up on Johnson now. We've not seen this year, a Ward being passed, then coming back. Jeff Ward is actually moving up on Johnson now, about 1.5 seconds behind him as they go through the sand pit. Johnson number 1 and Ward number 3. Now Ward faded fast in Seattle. He is not fading. He's staying within striking distance of Johnson. 1 and 3. That's the battle. Can Wardy catch him? Wardy has not given up. He's staying within striking distance of Johnson. This is for the series lead, the Coors Beer Series lead. And if he knows that he presses Johnson, he's going to force him to make a mistake. That's his hope. No, the white flag out. We have 1 lap left, and Ward has got to pull it off right now. Wardy has got to reel him in. And here's the mechanic signaling. Number 1 and 3, and right now Wardy's got to pull out all the stops. Wardy coming in close to Johnson. The Supercross Series Championship lead is on the line. The lights of each sandpit. Now Johnson makes his way through it. The white flag lap. Lechien way back in 3rd spot, number 9. Wardy still nursing that ankle he had operated on just a few weeks ago. No, the Yamaha keyboard. The checkered flag coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Honda's Ricky Johnson. But how about a round of applause for Jeff Ward in 2nd, and Ron Lechien in 3rd unofficially.
The man that finished in 2nd. Wardy, that's got to be one of the tough ones.
Yeah, you know, I was out front there and felt okay for a while, and then I kind of choked up a little bit, started missing some jumps, taking some bad lines, and Ricky made a good move on me, and you know, I stuck with him the whole way. Lappers were getting in the way. I caught up a little bit, and the lappers got in my way, so it was about 50-50 out there, and felt strong the whole race. Just didn't make the time that I needed to.
But Ward, you know, the impressive thing, Wardy, to me is that you look good, you look solid the whole race, and I have to say that Jeff Ward is back and he's 100%.
Yeah, you know, I felt pretty good out there. I still, first lap wrenched my ankle and kind of babied it, then the pain went away, so that's a good sign it's healing up, and I'm back on track, and there's a lot of races left.
Here's the man that finished 3rd. Would you welcome, please, Ron Lechien. Ron, not a heck of a lot you could do out there.
No, I was just trying to stay smooth and try to get something going again. I've been laying on the ground the last couple of weeks, and I just tried to stay real smooth and keep my concentration and make it all the way through the race.
Well, it was an excellent race. From your vantage point, you saw a little bit of it this time instead of watching from the sidelines, and that's got to feel good.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. You know, I wasn't really running up there with Jeff and Rick, but if I would have been, I probably would have been going a little bit over my head. So I tried to stay smooth and calm and finish the race.
Rick Johnson, RJ, how about it? Rick, you and Jeff were busy chatting there. What were you two guys talking about?
We were talking about lappers. You know, when it rains, it pours. You go from no one, and we could race good by ourselves, into, you know, about 4 or 5 guys, and they're racing for like 6th and 7th place, and they don't want to give up any position, so they're racing, but they don't look out for us. And he made up a lot of ground on me, and then I guess after I got by him, they messed with him too.
Yes, they did, and it was kind of a seesaw thing there. In reality, while Jeff was drawing closer, it was because of traffic. and there was no place for you to go, but excuse me, there was no place for you to go, but you made the most of it, moving in and out of them. And what goes through your mind?
Well, I'm hoarse now from screaming at him. I think I called him every name but a nice person out there to get out of my way, because, it's me and Jeff for the points lead now, and I got 3 points on him, and this means a lot. Every race means a lot to me, and to have it lost by some lapper messing with me, I think I would take the affair into the pit.
The riders move back to the starting gate for the final race of the night. It is 20 laps through the mud, the blood, and the Coors beer here in the Kingdome. Johnson, Ward, Lechien, Brock Glover, Mickey Diamond, Eric Kehoe, the top riders in the world. On the line now for the main event, 20 laps. How many people think Ward can pull it off? How about Johnson? Somehow I gotta tend to agree with you. Johnson looked more aggressive on that triple. All right, we're set to go. The riders up, ready, and here we go. And it is a Kawasaki Jeff Ward. And Johnson in second. It is Wardy in front, Johnson second, Kehoe in third. 21 now, moving up into fourth. That's Doug Dubach. Wardy has got to stay in front of Johnson, and Johnson goes to the inside. Johnson's setting up. 1 lap down and 19 to go. Up the uphill, Kehoe fights his way into third. It's Jeff Ward and Ricky Johnson, Eric Kehoe, and Doug Dubach. Then Lechien in fourth. Then 5-14 in fifth, Mike Larson of Bremerton. And here comes Lechien into fourth. Through the tunnel they go, and it's Ward, now Johnson, then to Kehoe. Can Ward take the pressure? Johnson is going to put it on him. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Wave them on when they come by. Can Ward hold him off? Ward is pulling away from Johnson. You gotta wonder what Johnson is thinking if he's gonna set him up for a pass on the triples. That's where Johnson's shine, and if he does triple, Ward is gonna have to pull ahead, and not to where he doesn't have to triple, or he's gonna have to gamble. They are turning 54-second laps. Here's Johnson. He's going for it. And look how far Johnson comes up on Ward. Look at Lechien and Kehoe going in for third. Oh, mama. And now Ward pulls away. Here's a triple. Riders will argue it doesn't matter if you triple or not. It's just as fast. That's not true. You see it right there. Johnson picks up about 10 feet on Ward when he triples. So far, Ward has not had to triple. 54-second laps. The fastest in practice was 59.9. Now, Johnson's starting to pull up on Ward through the whoops. And Ward is down. And Johnson goes by. Oh, what a tough break for Wardy. Johnson has got the lead. Can Ward come reeling in? Lechien is going for third. He's got third. And it is Lechien in third. And Lechien has gone after Ward. Johnson has a 2.7-second lead. But Lechien is pushing Ward, and that's going to make the battle closer to Johnson. The battle for second. Here's Johnson. Triple. Yes. 54.7 the lap time for Johnson. Ward has got to make up the time. Here's Lechien. Lechien's got second. What a battle. And Wardy drops off, and Lechien is going after Johnson. Nobody's been able to stop Johnson yet. When he gets out in front, they can't catch him, and Lechien's going to try. Ron the Machine Lechien on the Kawasaki is going after Johnson. Can he catch him? Look at Lechien. Here's number 9, Keogh, off the track and runs into a corner man. He comes back on, and he's got the banners behind him. Lechien is still in 4th spot behind Ward. He's going to have to stop to get those banners out. He's going to go on his head. Let's give you a rundown. It is number 2 in front. Then Lechien in second, number 1 in third. Lechien is turning a 5:36 lap. 5.3 seconds behind. Ricky Johnson in front, number 2. Factory Honda. Behind him is Lechien. We'll get a clock on the 2. A little over 5 seconds behind. Now getting into traffic, that can make it tough. Lechien is coming back now, going after Johnson. 53.6 seconds for Johnson's lap time. We'll get a clock now on Lechien's lap time this time and see where he stands. Johnson is 53.5. 53.5 seconds. Lechien almost stops in the whoops. Slowing way down off the pace, and Johnson's got to extend that lead. He's got to keep the pressure on. Lechien does. They're waving him on in the Kawasaki pits. Johnson is not tripling. He's got riders in front of him. That can be dangerous. You got to have a clear shot in a landing zone. Lechien looks good in certain areas and then slows way down in others. Now Lechien is starting to come on. You got to wonder what the strategy is. He is 5.5 seconds behind Johnson. But does he have enough time to reel him in? Here's Johnson, the final time you're going to see him on the triples. Let's see if he triples. He says, no, I'm not going to do it. He shook his head. Possibly some kind of a problem with the bike. He doesn't want to take a chance. Here's Lechien in second. Checkered flag, ladies and gentlemen. Ricky Johnson wins the Coors Supercross. Second place, Ron the Machine Lechien. It was a great race. The effort put forth on the part of all 3 riders, simply tremendous. Let's get over here. Jeff, could you work your way around this side for us, please? If someone, maybe somebody get someone to hold your bike if we need to. Ah, here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, he can hear you now. He's standing down here. There are no engines. He got the whole shot. Winner and defending Supercross champion, winner of round number 1, finishing 3rd out here today. Jeff Ward. Wardy, not the best day for you.
No, I felt terrible out there. I was feeling pretty good out front, first laps, and then I started making mistakes, and then I washed out into the tunnel, and I got up and tried to push a little too hard, and arms got tight. That's all she wrote.
You establish a pace, and once you try to get out of that pace, or once you do get out of it, I should say, and then get back in, it's tough.
Yeah, it was. You know, I got up and I tried to charge too hard. Ronnie was riding really good. I was holding him up a little bit, and arms got tight, so I let him go by.
Jeff, let me get you a towel and wipe some of that sweat off. I know that's going to feel good to you. Just wipe a little bit of that off. Don't go away. Let me talk to Ron Lechien here just a second. Ron finishing second. Your best finish to date. Not too shabby for you coming from off the pace.
Yeah, I felt pretty good out there. You know, I got a halfway decent start and just tried to stay real smooth. Everything was going pretty good for me there for a while, and I think I got a rock or something caught in my chain guard, and my motor was trying to stop on me there for a little while, and it seemed to get out of there after about a lap or two, and then I just went on from there.
It looked like you started to close on RJ at one point. You were actually making some time up.
Well, I felt like I was moving up a little bit there at the start. Like I said, some rock or something got in my chain guide. And then toward the end there, I think Rick was just kind of slowing down, and I think all of us were.
Jeff is over there with a scowl on his face, and you got a scowl on yours. And Rick doesn't even look all that happy, but I know he's got a smile. He's got to look on either side of him and see the two guys that are scowling and then make a face. You won it. How come you're not just smiling all over the place?
Well, I felt kind of bad for those people. I could jump the triple at first, and then it got real quiet over there, and they kind of give a every time I didn't jump it. So I wanted to put on a show for the people, but I don't like winning when Jeff, like the way I did when Jeff fell down. I would have rather just passed him, but I think it would have been a good race if he would have stayed up. But I felt good today.
Well, maybe we could go ahead and just let Jeff have those first place points.
No, I don't think we need to go that far because part of racing is not falling.
Jeff, you heard what Rick said. He says he's going to keep his first place points, but he doesn't like to go that way. And I know that wasn't your favorite way to lose either.
No, I just, you know, I think he's 3 points ahead, but it's a long series. I don't think anybody's thinking points right now. You know, last year it was up and down, and got a long series ahead of us, so.
Well, this is the main, ladies and gentlemen. 20 laps through the mud, the blood, and the beer. You take 21 riders down that long straightaway. They're hitting close to 60 miles an hour. At the end, it is a sharp right-hand turn. It looks like a signal alert on I-5 as they dive into that right-hander, and all hell breaks loose. Heaven to hell in 2 seconds. This is the main. This is the race you've waited for. If Johnson gets out in front, it is almost acknowledged he's hot. It's tough for anybody to catch him. Some close-up looks up there. Todd DeHoop looking at his bike, number 37. Rocking back and forth. Johnson and Ward have dominated. Lechien and Ricky Ryan were the only other riders to win a Supercross last year. Can anybody stop Johnson? Can they stop Ward? Will it be somebody who's not been in the winner's circle yet? We're going to find out in about 15 seconds. This is the main. The mechanics lined up along pit row. The riders rocking back and forth, the butterflies in the stomachs, the tension so thick, you can cut it with a knife, and here we go! This is the main! It is Ward in front! Jeff Ward gets a whole shot, can he hold on to it? Lechien in second! Dubois in third! Johnson in the middle of the pack! Lechien takes the lead! Lechien in front, Ward running second, Dubois, then Kehoe, then Donnie Schmidt, then Brock Glover, then George Holland, then Mickey Diamond. And where is Johnson? He's in the center of the pack. It is Lechien and Ward. Johnson is about 12th at this point. Diamond kills the engine, and Johnson goes by. Here we go. We got a race. And it's Lechien and Ward. Ask no quarter, give no quarter. Johnson is starting to reel in Ward and Lechien. Here's Lechien looking awfully good though in first place. Wardy is sitting in second. This will give Ward, I believe, the lead back in the Supercross Series, if he, or at least a tie with Johnson if they finish like this. Ward now is 2 seconds behind Lechien and closing. Jeff Ward is catching Lechien. Here's Lechien. Here's Wardy. Johnson now just going through the tunnel. I don't think there's any way he can catch him other than one of them going down. We are in lap 15 of a 20-lap Coors main. Here comes fourth spot ahead of George Holland. Incredible, though. Lechien has lapped all the way to fifth spot. Unbelievable. Sixth spot, check that. Glover's in sixth, number 44. And Lechien has just lapped sixth place. He has lapped 15 riders. Incredible, Lechien. We go into lap 18 of a 20-lap main. I don't think you can stop Lechien without a gun. He is about to lap Holland. Holland is in fifth spot. Unbelievable. They say when Lechien is on, he is unstoppable. We have 2 laps to go. Unofficially, 2 laps to go. Wardy pulling up a little closer. Here's a white flag for Lechien. I think Wardy is going to sit right there and throw this thing into a tie. Wardy is about to lap Glover. The final lap for Lechien. And Johnson cannot reel him in. He waited too long to make his move. The final lap. Lechien is on the gas. A beautiful ride by the machine from El Cajon on the factory Kawasaki. Here he comes with a final time around. Ron Lechien. And winning round 3 of the Coors Supercross Series, Team Kawasaki's Ron Lechien. And second spot, Jeff Ward. And I can't believe how far back Ricky is. He keeps pounding, he just keeps hammering at him. But it is not to be as Ricky Johnson finishes third, heading for the checkered.
Rick Johnson, what can we say, buddy? It was just a tough way to go.
Yeah, I didn't get a good start. By the time I got into third place, I couldn't even see where they were, so it was hard to chase something that wasn't there, so they rode good. They got the start, and that's the big part of the race.
It was. You know, there was plenty of room on the track to pass. You were disposing of riders right and left, but we got to take a look at who had a clear track in front of them, and that, frankly, makes a difference in a situation like this.
Yeah, it does. It makes a big difference if you get a whole shot and you're stuck behind, because some of the grooves, there's lots of room to pass, but if you pick a rut and a guy moves in front of you, it's really hard to get out of. So that was my problem during the race, but they had a real fast pace right from the get-go, and they won.
What happened on the start?
I just came into the first turn. I didn't get a real good drive out of the gate, and I was mid-pack, and I was just banging around trying to sort something out, try to get, past as many people as I could in the first turn, and I came out right in the middle.
Here's a man that finished second, and normally you don't see a guy smiling like this, especially of this caliber when they finish second. But I think that second today is okay. You're looking at a Kawasaki 1-2. Jeff Ward, good ride.
Thanks, Larry. Ronnie was riding exceptionally good tonight. I mean, this is this kind of track.
Ronnie told me he was riding just as normal everyday race.
Well, he was. He was pulling away, too, while he was doing it. But I tried everything I could. I tried every other line. It was just really hard to make up time, and he's one of the smoothest riders out there, so I felt really good. I didn't tense up like I did last night, and if I felt like I did tonight, I might have done a lot better last night.
Okay, let's talk to the man of the hour. Here's your winner, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start calling him Rapid Ron Lechien. What a job.
Thanks, Larry. Everything went real well for me out there. Finally got a start that I've been looking for all year, and I just capitalized on it and got by Jeff there at the start and stayed smooth. It was real tough out there, demanding track.
Intense competition, unbelievable. If we'd have had a watch, in the lap times, there were about 4, there was another guy that you're not aware of. I'd say there were 4 of you out there running awfully close to the same, and one of these days, the 4 of you are going to hook up, and it is going to be something else. The 4th one was Diamond. He came from way back to finish 4th. I mean, he was just blistering the track. So the 4 of you guys, something else.
Yeah, I think there's more riders out there this year than ever that are capable of winning the race. It's really neat. I like the competition, and I'm just real happy that I take my first win this year.
And now we go to the race the crowd has paid their money for. The 250 main event here at the Pontiac Silverdome. And there's your riders, all the superstars. Number 44, Brock Glover. You wonder what's going through his mind. Coming back after 2 years, last year of a Yamaha contract. There's number 4, Ron Lechien, gets off the bike. Number 9, Eric Kehoe, who's long overdue for a Supercross win. There's number 3, George Holland. And Holland has also
is also yet to be a winner in a Supercross. He's not yet won one. Talk about gunfighter eyes. Ricky Johnson, look at the concentration on this young man's face. And his nemesis, Jeff Ward. And Ward, right now, I flat guarantee, is wondering, can I beat Johnson in this main event? That is what is going through Jeff Ward's mind right now. All right, we are set to go for the main event. The 1988 Pontiac Supercross. Larry Huffman calling the action. And get set, get your seatbelts fastened, because here we go. A long, long straightaway. There's Jeff Ward in the center. Has he got the lead? No. Dubois on the Yamaha comes out on the outside, and Ward is second. They go up the uphill. Ward sneaks the inside. Dubois shuts the door. Now Ward takes it back, and Dubois is right on his back tire. Back down the bottom of the floor. Over the triple jump. Jeff Ward in front. That's number 23, Ronnie Tishner in third on the Suzuki. Ward, Kawasaki, Dubois, Yamaha, and Tishner, Suzuki. And there is Johnson back in about fourth spot and battling. Jeff Ward in front, number 1. Then Doug Dubois, number 21, and a slew of riders coming up strong. There's Johnson on the inside, number 2. There's Lease, number 7. Holland, number 3. And there's Johnson trying to get around number 23, Tishner, for third. Jeff Ward trying to open up as much of a lead as he can. He knows Johnson's behind him. He knows this man, number 2, is moving up. Johnson in fourth spot trying to get a shot at Tishner. They go up the uphill, and Ward goes down the downhill. Into the triple jumps, no showboating, no waving to the crowd now. These guys are serious. Johnson in fourth spot, going after Tishner. There is Ward, your leader. There goes Johnson trying to go in front of Dubois, and he's got Dubois. And suddenly it is Johnson going after Ward. Oh, baby. Hold on. Jeez Louise. Ward in front, as we have seen so many times so far this year, and this man in second. And this is when it gets exciting, because Johnson starts reeling in Ward. Now, Ward normally will finally let Johnson by and then back off and give Johnson the victory. Is it going to be different today at Pontiac? We're about to find out. There's Ward, and there comes Johnson. Lechien, number 4, has gone into third spot. Dubois in fourth. There is Johnson reeling him in now. Look at the wetting. That could be a factor in this race. Johnson coming in on Ward. Ward, he knows now. He's got the signal from his mechanic that Johnson is closing. He's got to open up the lead. And the momentum is carrying away from the rest of the pack. Lechien in third, but he's way, way back. Oh, Johnson almost goes down. That's a surprise. Johnson does not make mistakes. Are we going to see more mistakes from Johnson because he hit the ground? The forks compressed, and he almost went down. In fact, a lesser rider would have gone down. Boy, he is smooth as silk. This kid has got it together. No mistakes so far. Coming into traffic, there's Johnson right behind him. You can see him. They go down the downhill, setting up that very, very dangerous triple. Wardy, smooth little wobbling there on the jump. Here's Wardy. They lap number 16. That's Donnie Schmidt, who was a factor earlier, but now Schmidt is down a full lap. That gives you an idea of how fast these guys are going. Johnson goes to the inside. Here's a pass. No, Ward says no. Over the big jump, Johnson comes back in again, and Ward shuts the door again. This normally doesn't happen. Here's Johnson on the inside. He positions himself perfectly, and Johnson goes in front. Now, will Ward back off as he's done before and let Johnson run away with the race? It doesn't look like it. Jeff Ward is hammering Johnson. Down the downhill. The triple jump. Johnson and Ward. Wardy wobbling a little. Those ruts are starting to be a factor. Look at the crowd wave them on. The ruts are definitely starting to be a factor in this race. Ward going wide. Look at the wave on Wardy. The crew, the track crew waiting on Jeff Ward. Go after Johnson. Into the tunnel. They lap another rider, number 11, Keith Bowen. And it is Johnson in front, but Wardy is not letting him pull away. And this is what Ward's got to do. He's got to keep the pressure on Johnson to get him to make a mistake, and Johnson is wobbling. He is rocking and rolling like a drunken sailor. Lands in those ruts, and suddenly the bar starts shaking, and Johnson almost goes down. Wardy, you got to get on the gas. You got to hammer him. And Wardy's mechanic and the team manager. And Johnson has gone down. Johnson has gone down out of our sight into the hay bale, and Ward takes the lead. Ladies and gentlemen, mark that down. You don't see that often. Ricky Johnson make a mistake, but he was wobbling earlier, and he went down fast. And now it is Jeff Ward's chance to pull away from Johnson. The crowd here at Pontiac are getting their money's worth as Ricky Johnson goes down and gives the lead to Ward. And Ward suddenly has a new lease on life, but look at Johnson come up on him. And now Wardy will try to block Johnson. Johnson slams into the ground again and wobbles. He can't afford to make another mistake. He goes to the inside and goes down again. Whoa, Nelly. Ricky Johnson has crashed twice in a main event, and Jeff Ward is on his way to victory here at Pontiac. But still, plenty of time left, and Johnson cannot afford another mistake. He has gone down twice while leading. That doesn't happen but once in a blue moon. And Jeff Ward is in front and on the gas. Now, Johnson has got to not only reel him in, he's got to pass him and stay in front. Johnson's self-confidence has got to be shaken. He's never fallen twice in a main and come back and won before. But the crowd here at Pontiac is getting their money's worth. There's Wardy, setting up for the triples. All business. And there's Johnson. You can see him wobbling in the back. Ricky Johnson going after his nemesis, Jeff Ward, and now he's got Ward in sight. Can Ward hold him off, or will Ward fade? Ward has had the lead handed to him twice on a silver platter. And he knows that. What is Ward going to do? Left Johnson to the inside, almost takes it, and Ward says no. Ward sets up. He's got to go back to the inside for the next jump. And Johnson goes to the outside. They are neck and neck, handlebar to handlebar. Ward and Johnson's got the lead again. For the third time this main event, Ricky Johnson has taken the lead. Will he fall again? Honda is hoping not. Look at Ward. Ward comes back in and forces Johnson to the outside. Ward is suddenly has got the lead and goes into our cameraman. Ward is driven to the outside by Ricky Johnson and goes down. Oh, and Jeff Ward is mad. He is incensed. They tangled, and Ward got the worst of it and went right up into the hay bales, and Ricky Johnson is out in front. And Ward is down about 20 seconds. What a shocker. The white flag out, the final lap. And Johnson is on his way to victory. Starting to style a little bit now. I wouldn't do that, Ricky. You crashed twice and almost went down a third time when you tangled with Ward. Ricky Johnson, Team Honda. Look at the fans and the field people wave on Johnson. He's got it. Ricky Johnson takes the victory after crashing twice and putting Ward in the hay bales. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Motorcycle Demolition Derby. So the final results at Pontiac. Ricky Johnson takes it again for Honda. Ward in second. Lechien will settle for third. Eric Keogh fourth. And Doug Duboc, the Yamaha privateer, in fifth.
Jeff, what can you say?
That was a tough race. I was riding pretty smooth there, but made a few mistakes. And I fell like when I was behind Ricky, but then he fell too. So it was tough.
It was tough. There's no two ways about it. It was tough, and it was one of the better races you're ever going to see. And again, that thing called momentum. It was a catcher-upper, I guess.
Yeah, he caught me, and I wasn't too worried about it because I felt smooth, and I was just going to kind of see how he was riding. And we got alongside each other. We got by, and then again he fell, and he was riding really well. And then we were kind of both out of control going through the stutter bumps there. And he kind of had the advantage because he was on the inside and put me through the hay bales.
RJ, it was awesome.
Yay! Man, I felt good. I got the lead. I pulled up a good, I had a good, comfortable lead. I had some trouble with lappers. I ended up crashing. And then Jeff got by me. I caught up to him. I crashed again. And I was a little bit tired out there. I was hyperventilating. I wasn't concentrating on my breathing. And it showed because I was riding really tight and making a lot of mistakes. And then Jeff came up right behind me, went for the pass on the inside right before the whoops, and I went outside. We were side by side going through the whoops, and I just sort of pushed him out. I think I don't know. I think I would have played it a little bit different if I was in his shoes, but he did what he thought was right. But I won.
And we're ready now, ladies and gentlemen, for the Coors main event. And there is the rider everybody's going to be watching. Number 2, Ricky Johnson. Has won 5 straight Supercrosses on the road to Dallas. And invariably, Johnson gets a bad start, usually behind Jeff Ward, and has to play catch-up. As the riders take a parade lap, we're looking at Johnson. RJ on the blood red factory Honda. And here's the man he's got to beat. Number 1, the defending Supercross champion, Jeff Ward. Wardy, who is becoming known as the perennial bridesmaid to Johnson in this season. Wardy has got to start picking up points or Johnson will take that title away from him. And he knows that. Jeff Ward of Mission Viejo, California. Former Supercross, former and current Supercross champion. As the riders take a lap around this hard Texas sod of Texas Stadium. Larry Hoffman calling the action. This could be a good main event. They move into the starting dock. Number 9, Eric Kehoe. There's number 1, Jeff Ward. Number 15 coming up there. That's Michael Fisher. Then number 3, George Holland. Number 21, Dubach, the Yamaha rider from Costa Mesa, California. This is the main event from the Texas Stadium. Leaning forward to the bikes. Number 1, number 2, number 4, number 3 on the line. And there they go. Look at them. Horsepower unleashed as they fly down the straightaway. And it is Wardy and number 7, Lease, taking the lead. Wardy goes to the inside, takes it away from Lease. Number 44, Glover, is in second. Wardy in front, Glover second. There's number 23, that's Tischner trying to move up. And Tischner goes down and takes Brooks with him, number 14. 23, Tischner went down, and Brooks is down with him. And there's number 1. Jeff Ward in front and Glover in second. Johnson is back in mid-pack and moving up. Here comes Wardy, Glover to the inside. Glover tries to go to the inside, and Ward says no. Through the tunnel. Wardy and Glover battling for the lead here in front of a big crowd at Texas Stadium. Number 7, Lease, is in third. And Johnson is moving up. There's Ricky Johnson. Johnson is up to 4th. Jeff Lease, his teammate, right in front of him, and Ricky wants Lease. He wants to go after Wardy. And the crowd is standing and cheering early in this heat, or in this main event. Jeff Ward, number 1. 44, Glover in second. Lease, number 7 in third, and Johnson moving up. There's Johnson stalking Lease. Lease, the Crocodile Dundee of Supercross, Australian national champion. Switched from Yamaha to Honda the end of last year. And Jeffrey Lease is trying to hold off his teammate, and Johnson goes in and drives Lease to the outside. A classic textbook example of how Ricky Johnson moves past somebody. He gets the wheel to the inside and drives past him on the inside. Invariably, that is how Johnson passes. Ricky Johnson, number 2. Has got to pass his good buddy, Brock Glover, for second, and then go after Ward. And this is where the people pay their money. There's number 4, Lechien, back around 6th spot at this point. A bad start for Ronnie. And a tough break for Kawasaki, but right now the hopes of Kawasaki are pinned on this young lad. About 5'6.5", 5'7", Jeff Ward, built like a football halfback. Works out with weights extensively and runs. Very intelligent rider. Maybe a little bit of an edge on Johnson in training. Here's Johnson, who's running in 3rd spot. The main event, Texas Stadium. Wardy through the loops. Number 73 going down in front of him, Corey Cope. Wardy goes around him. Oh, Wardy there slams that left foot into the ground. That'll hyperextend your knee. That hurts. Wardy's had problems with his knees before, also problems with his ankles. Here's Johnson trying to reel in Glover. And there's Glover right in front of him, looking like he's in the sights of a gun right in front of Johnson. Wardy in front, Glover second, and Johnson third. Here's Johnson to look at him, play with Glover. He goes to the outside. Glover is expecting Johnson to go to the inside because that's where Ricky likes to pass. He goes back to the inside, and Glover's on the outside. That's a dangerous place. They're side by side in midair. And Glover comes out on top, and Johnson is frustrated. Normally, another rider would have backed off and let Johnson by, but Glover is not a normal rider. 6-time national champion. He's as big as Johnson and as strong as Johnson. There is Ward, number 1 in front, completely oblivious to the battle behind him. And here is the battle behind him. The battle of Texas Stadium for second between Glover, number 44, and Johnson, number 2. Johnson loves to stalk the other riders. He's a master at psyching out the other riders and getting him to look out right there. A beautiful move. Johnson made Glover think he was going to the outside, then suddenly cut to the inside and went by him like a snake oil sails through the night. from Scotland, now living in Southern California. Look at this. Johnson reeling him in. Wardy in front through traffic. Johnson in second spot, and Wardy will use that traffic to the best advantage. Earlier this year, Kawasaki team manager Roy Turner experimented with one-way radios to Ward and Lechien, and the AMA outlawed it. And for a fairly good reason. They cost around $1,500, and most of the privateers are having trouble getting to the races. They can't afford that, and the AMA, and I think I tend to agree with them, said that's an unfair advantage, so they are outlawed. So now Wardy does not have them. Johnson said it was like Ward had eyes in the back of his head. Wardy coming up on Johnny O'Mara, the former Supercross champion. He laps him. Johnson laps O'Mara. Johnson all over the track, different lines. That's on purpose. He's trying to make Wardy feel he's not coming around where Ward expects him to, and then Johnson will go. Let's see if Johnson does what he does every time before, and that is pass on the inside. He will feint to the outside, try to draw Ward to the outside, and then go to the inside instantly and take over the lead. Wardy doing a good job of staying in front of Johnson. In previous races, Johnson has passed, and Wardy has seemed to lose heart to back off and let Johnson pull away. Let's see if Johnson passes, if that's what Wardy does. They come up behind number 23, Tishner, who was involved in that earlier crash with Dennis Hawthorne. And it is Wardy and Johnson. As I have said before, two more dissimilar riders in style and stature you will not find. Wardy about 5', 6.5", Johnson 6'1.5". Long, lanky drink of water, very muscular, likes to surf a lot. Johnson, Wardy, more compact, muscular, heavy-duty weight training. They go around number 46. Dean Metzen on the Honda, wending their way through traffic. The final laps of this Coors main event. The move-over flag is out for the riders in front, number 14. That's Larry Brooks, who crashed earlier. Now they're all alone, and it's Johnson saying, I got you in my sights, Wardy, and I want you. He puts the pressure on, and nobody can do it like Johnson can. How would you like to be in Wardy's shoes with Johnson behind him? Let's see if Johnson goes to the inside. He does. Wardy blocks him, and Johnson comes back again, and Wardy slows way down and forces Johnson to slow down. Beautiful move by Jeff Ward. Wardy is tough to pass. Sometimes Johnson makes it look easy, though, when he does pass him. Right now, Ricky is all over the track, looking for a spot to move by Wardy. The crowd intently watching this battle as they come up to lap Mike Fisher. Again, Ricky, exactly what he was doing before, to the extreme outside, Wardy to the inside, flips a hay bale, doesn't slow Wardy down. Now Johnson moves up on him. Johnson to the inside, exactly what he did before, and Wardy lets him by. Oh, frustration. But now Wardy is coming back. Will he fade? That's the question. Will Jeff Ward back off now? That's what he's done before, but it doesn't look that way. It looks like Ward is going to give him a race. Ward goes to the inside for a second. He had the lead, but Johnson launches himself over the double. You don't see Johnson showboating. That's because Ward is keeping the pressure on. Johnson, rather, has got it stuck on the left foot peg of his bike. Close, he's coming to the outside of the hay bales. There's your leader. Number 2, Johnson. Number 1, Ward in second. And that's what the crowd is watching here at Texas Stadium. Wardy at this point normally fades off the pace and settles for second, but he's not doing that now. He's putting the pressure on Johnson. That's what he's got to do. You can't let Johnson get that far out in front because Ricky won't just stay on in front, showboat to the crowd, and hold on to that lead. The mechanics, the pit board, signaling the riders as they go by. Mechanic circle. Johnson, number 2, knows he is getting close to the end of this race, but Wardy goes to the inside and almost gets out in front again. Finish line jump. Looking for the white flag, and there it is. And now, can Wardy reel in Johnson? Johnson wobbling a little bit. I don't know if he's getting tired or feeling the pressure. He looks behind him. You don't see Johnson do that. And Ward comes up behind him. And the crowd is responding. They're cheering their heroes on. Normally, Johnson has pulled away to an 8 or 9 second lead, and Wardy says, not this time, big guy. And Ricky Johnson is feeling the pressure. It's Ward's turn to put the pressure on Johnson. Wardy is running his back tire. The final lap at Texas Stadium, a big crowd, and Wardy is trying to pull it off. So Johnson has got a block Ward. Ward to the inside. Gets his wheel up next to Johnson. Look at this, for the title. Johnson turns it over, and Ward is on him like a bloodhound. Johnson deserves all the accolades for second. Lechien third, Jeff Lease fourth, and George Holland also on the Honda in fifth spot.
Man, it just doesn't get any better than that. I'm going to start down here in the end. Ron Lechien finishing in a number 3 position. And Ron, I don't know where you were at the start of the race.
Well, I wasn't up there too far. I think I was probably about 7th or 8th, and just like last week, I basically had to work my way up from behind.
Man, and it's a tough road to hoe. You get a couple of guys like that out there, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it definitely is. And those guys get out in front, and they can take their own lines and just get on a real fast pace. There just isn't any catching them.
Unbelievable. Jeff Ward. Jeff, you were out in front, and again, there's that syndrome. You had your pace going. RJ's charging from behind. He catches you and goes by. But it looked on the last lap like, hey, here I come. You picked up the pace, and we're right back in his lap.
Yeah, it was really tough out front. You know, it was hard to go fast, and I'm sure Ricky had the same problems. It's really slippery, and I made a lot of mistakes. I knew he was going to creep on up there. I didn't want to push too hard, and then I didn't expect him to get by that easy, though. He got by.
Easy? You call that easy? Oh, man, that was some of the best racing we've seen in years.
Well, yeah, I had to work for it, but once he got by, I just tried to stick with him and get some good lines, and I had fairly good lines, but it was just really tough to make up some time, and he rode a great race, and hats off to him.
I'll tell you what, all you guys had good lines. RJ, where you passed Jeff, you kind of invented a new place to go. No one had been running there, and Jeff was taking up the good line. You might say he was kind of hogging them, so you found a new way to get around him, and it was great.
Yeah, I was riding hard. I had a good pace going, but I caught up to Jeff, and then when you're in second, you can be a lot more aggressive, ride the outsides, and that's where the tacky part was. And I made some time on him, imagined to squeak by him, but when I got into first, I had to slow my pace down because I had to ride real protective lines on the insides, and you can't really carry the momentum through the turns. So it made for a really good race. Whoever was in second had the advantage.
Yeah, and that advantage almost paid off with that second-place rider on that last lap, because, boy, he was pounding right up your rear wheel.
Yeah, I saw him there, and I could hear him there the whole time. Jeff's a tough champion. He doesn't like giving up easy, and neither do I. So I imagine we'll have a couple more classic confrontations. Maybe he's on top, maybe I'm on top. But all in all, I think it's good for the sport for two people to go out and fight to win.
This is Larry Huffman welcoming you back to Tampa Stadium, and we're ready now for the main event of the 250 class of racing. And this field includes all the top riders in the world of Supercross. And that list includes, well, number 4, the man they call the Machine, Ron Lechien, final year of his Kawasaki contract. Number 19, Johnny O'Mara, has got one more year with Team Suzuki. The final year of his Yamaha contract. Number 44, Brock Glover. Number 21, this kid is also very, very tough. Look at that grin from ear to ear. What, me worry? Doug Duboc. Duboc's ready to look good in Supercross tonight, I think. And the man is trying to hold on to that number 1 place. Jeff, the Green Giant Ward. Factory Kawasaki smile, Jeff. There you go. Wardy going for a win tonight here in Tampa. The man who beat Ward earlier, number 3, George Holland, the factory Honda rider, looked awfully good in his heat, said Ward was a good, clean rider. He's going to try to do score his first win in Supercross tonight. Number 2, Ricky Johnson, who looked terrible earlier in his heat, lost his heat, had to ride the semi. I can't remember the last time Ricky had to do that. Number 2, Johnson, the factory Honda. His teammate, number 7, Jeff Lease, the Australian. If we ever do a Supercross version of Huckleberry Finn, Lease has got the lead. No question about that. And number 201, the Chicken, Jeff Matasevich, the kid that Kawasaki is grooming for the main event, for the big time. And here we go, ready for the main. They lean forward, look at the crowd, and here we go. The gate drops, and they are off, and it is going to be Lechien. Looks like Lechien on the Kawasaki taking the lead. No, it is Wardy. It was a Kawasaki. We thought it was Lechien, but it's Jeff Ward in front. One rider down. We didn't get his number. But Jeff Ward, who's done so well this year in Supercross at Houston, is going to try to win it here at Tampa. And it looks like Matasevich, his teammate, coming up in second. That's Matasevich. And then number 9, that is Keogh in third. The green flag out, the race is on. Jeff Ward in front, Matasevich serving as a buffer in second spot. And then number 2, Johnson is broken in third. And Johnson is riding like a man possessed in third. And he's going to try to reel in Matasevich. There's Wardy, and there's Matasevich in midair also. And Johnson coming up behind him. Now Matasevich, if he can, will try to block Johnson for Wardy, but I don't know if Matasevich has got the experience. He doesn't. We found that out real fast. Johnson goes by him like a snake oil salesman of the night. So it is Wardy in front, Johnson running second. The great battle in Supercross this year. And for the past couple of years, nobody else has been in these guys' league. Nobody's even been close. A couple of flashes of brilliance, but it is Ricky Johnson in second spot trying to reel in Jeff Ward. Johnson in second, number 2, Wardy number 1 in front. Wardy's mom has a Ferrari with on the license plate Wardy's mom, if you can believe that. Very attractive. Bonnet, Wardy's down! And Johnson takes the lead. Wardy handed that lead to Johnson on a silver platter, and Wardy is trying to move up on him. Let's see if we got a look at Wardy going down. He's trying to reel in Johnson. He's keeping the pressure on Johnson. Yes, here's a look. Instant replay. Wardy, let's see what happened. Comes up with the jump, moves his tailbone back over the rear wheel. It's a tabletop jump. Shouldn't have any problem. Not a difficult jump. Lands hard. He lands in the sand, and the front wheel washes out. And down goes Jeff Ward, hard. And here comes Johnson to take over the lead. Well, that's a lucky break for Johnson, and he needs one tonight here in Tampa. Ward keeps the engine running. Notice the presence of mind. Does not kill the engine. He doesn't have to waste time starting it. He keeps the throttle on, pulls the clutch in when he goes down, and he is right back on the back tire of Ricky Johnson. So, the table has turned, and Johnson is in front with Wardy second. Over the triples. Actually, 2.5, actually, and then another big jump, a couple of big jumps. But it is Ricky Johnson, number 2 in front, with Jeff Ward now number 1 in second. Now this is where Johnson has prevailed, because Wardy will try to reel him in and then back off and seemingly lose interest. The only rider in the world who can keep Johnson in sight is Wardy, when Wardy wants to. But Wardy is riding very strong now. And he's down again! I can't believe this. Ricky Johnson didn't even touch him. He wasn't within 3 feet of him, and Wardy went down. And Johnson's looking around saying, what happened? Let's take a look back and see if we can figure out what happened. If you're watching us to get hints on how to ride, we're showing you how not to crash, or how to crash, rather. Here's Wardy, and that's Johnson on the right. Gets a little bit wild. The suspension working extremely strong. Now here goes to the inside. A little different camera angle now on Wardy. And if he can get that power to the ground, he's going to pass Johnson. But nope, the rear wheel just simply slides out. This hard North Florida clay-type substance takes its toll again, and Wardy is down. Hits the deck faster than a Mike Tyson opponent. And there's Wardy right behind, look, he passed. Did you see that? Is there a Tampa policeman in the house? Because he just committed grand larceny. Wardy went around Keogh on the outside. Keogh looked around on the inside, and Wardy went by and thumbed his nose at him as he went by. Unbelievable. Wardy is coming back. He's passing Frank. He's trying to go for second. I believe he's got it, too. Let's check. Yes, it is Johnson in front, Wardy in second. Boy, and Wardy has suddenly come alive and is trying to reel in Ricky Johnson and take the lead. The crowd responding. They love this young man from Southern California here in Florida. Now, that's a lap rider that Wardy is going around. Number 20, and I believe that is Jeff Hicks out of Atwater, Ohio. And Wardy is passing, but he is lapped. Hicks is not in the race. He's way back. He's down a lap. Here's your leader, number 2, Ricky Johnson. Wardy is running in second spot. Lechien is third. Matasevich is up in fourth. Keogh has dropped way back. Manley has just passed Keogh for fifth. And right now, Ricky Johnson does do well. He is on the gas. Through the whoops. But notice that Johnson is not showboating at all. He's not playing around at all. Riding a very smart race. Very conservative race now that he's out in front. And here's Wardy in second, but back quite a ways. Johnson again, the lapping riders, and that's always dangerous. You don't know what the guy in front of you is going to do. Put out that purple flag, and the rider doesn't see it, and he can move over, and suddenly your race is over. Whoop! Johnson gets in the whoops, into the sand, and wobbles a little bit. Might be getting tired. He's had to ride the semi, remember. Keep that in mind. He's unaccustomed to that. White flag, 1 lap to go, and Johnson breathes a sigh of relief. Let's watch and see if we can see Wardy. Now he's way, way back. Nope, still no sign of Ward. There he is. He's got about 5 lap riders between him and Johnson, and Jeff knows right now the only way he's going to stop Ricky Johnson is with a gun. So Wardy will pick up second place tonight if it goes another lap like this. Johnson will take the victory. Let's see if Johnson gets a little crazy over the jumps here in the final lap. And there it is. Nope, one hand off the bars, and Ricky wins it.
Jeff, there's no way you can make a mistake like that.
Well, I got up and I felt really good. I was right behind Ricky. I didn't feel like that was it. I still felt smooth, and I was staying right with him and trying some of his lines. So I thought it was going to be another good race, but I just got a little sideways there. I was side of him and forgot that how slippery it really is.
And he almost bobbled it. I think he'll tell you how slippery it is on that last lap. And wouldn't you have been surprised to come around the corner and see number 2 laying there?
Yeah, I would have, but I think he would have had enough time to get up. I was just cruising, no way I could win, but I kept going as smooth as I could without falling out there, but he just pulled away.
RJ, a wild, wild win. And, man, you know, the brakes come and the brakes go, and this time they were in your favor all the way.
Yeah, this time, Larry, the brakes went for me, you know. I like winning a race, having a good fight, and Jeff was right there after he fell down the first time. I figured that made us even for him getting a better start than me, and we were going to have a good race to the end, but then he fell down, and it just, the luck went my way today.
Last lap, right over here in the corner, you had a little problem.
Yeah, there were some lappers, and I was trying to just cruise around because I knew I had a big lead, but you should never do that when you're in front. You should give it 100% the whole time, and it almost cost me the race. I almost crashed just by screwing around.
We are ready for the main event. This man, Ricky Johnson, is ready to prove he's #1 this year. Earlier, I was out in the pits to find out if Ricky can be beaten tonight, and these are some of the riders that I talked to.
This is on the line tonight. Jeff Ward trying to hold on to that #1 plate. 15-point lead Johnson has over Ward going in the night. And I guess I hate to ask this question, but can he be stopped tonight?
Well, I think so, Larry. I've been riding really aggressively. I feel really well, and if I want to win the championship, I have to. I can't rely on him having any problems. I got to go out and just, you know, make my own destiny, win the race, and then wherever he falls, falls. And 15 points is a lot to make up with 2 races left, and with the competition the way it is, we're getting first and second, so there's not much of a gap there to make points up.
Can Johnson be stopped?
Yeah, I think so. You know, everybody's beatable, and you know, I think sooner or later, you know, all of the riders out there are going to get sick and tired of getting beaten by him every weekend, and you know, I think he's beatable, and I wouldn't be out here if he wasn't.
We've asked the question every race, can Johnson be stopped? Now, tonight, it's for the championship. He could wrap up the championship tonight. Do you think Johnson can be stopped?
I think he can be stopped. You know, it's going to take a lot of good riding by myself and Jeff Ward, and maybe a mishap or some bad luck on Rick's part. You know, he's got a pretty good lead, and, you know, I'm sure he'll be riding real smart. And, you know, for Team Kawasaki, I hope he does get stopped.
You're moving up to the 250 bikes. Can you stop Johnson, or who will be able to stop Johnson?
I think there's a number of young up-and-coming riders. One, hopefully, is myself. That'll be able to stop him here in the near future. He's been winning a lot of races for the past 3 years, but you can only stay on top for so long, and I think it's time for someone else to be on top.
Somebody hungry.
Yeah, this year's been really coming along really good for me, and I hope to take Johnson's place here next year, maybe.
Can Johnson be stopped?
I'm not really sure. I think if he gets a bad start and, say, a couple of the fast guys get out, maybe, but I think if he gets a good start and 20 laps in a main event, I think he's going to be pretty hard to be beat.
The question is, can you be stopped tonight? How do you feel? This is it. This is for all the marbles tonight. You can win the championship.
Well, I don't think it's possible for me to win the championship, but it's definitely possible for me to make 3 more points on Jeff Ward. So my attitude going into this race is just to win. I won here last year, but I lost my championship. So as far as the people know, I was a Supercross champion, and they'll be cheering for me, you know, at least my fans. So I'm looking forward to it.
So the stage is set for the main event here at the Meadowlands Supercross in New Jersey. The riders to watch: Holland looked good in his heat, Brock Glover, Jeffrey Leach, Jeff Matasevich, Ricky Johnson, and Ron the Machine Lechien. And here we go. The key drops. They rocket down the line. The best riders in the world. It looks to be Holland in the middle of the pack, taking the lead. It is Holland in front. Dubach now goes to the outside. And Holland comes back and goes out in front, launching himself over the jump. George Holland, Team Honda, out in front. A couple riders look to have a problem with the hay bale back there in the middle of the pack. Now the field stretching out. Here is Holland. There's Dubach. But it is George Holland's race at this point. Anything can happen on the main. Wardy did not start. through the tunnel. Duboc right on the back tire on that privateer Yamaha support ride. Lechien back in the middle of the pack. And where is Johnson? That's the question. Where is Ricky Johnson? Traditionally not a good starter. Holland has seemed to got a new lease on life after his battle earlier with Ward in the heat race. And he's setting a very strong pace. Duboc going wide on the turn, but it's Holland out in front. Notice, no theatrics, no showboating by Holland. He's serious. He wants to win his first Supercross ever. There's Johnson in 4th spot, number 2. Lechien bounces into 2nd spot like a human pogo stick. Duboc goes to 3rd, and Johnson goes to 4th, and you can bet that Johnson will start to move up. Holland, Lechien, Duboc, Johnson, 1, 2, 3, 4. George Holland, newly married the end of last year out of Kerman, California, a quieter rider you'll never find. And there's Lechien on the inside. And Lechien goes to the inside on a beautiful pass, and Holland comes back. It is Holland and Lechien over the jump. Side by side, handlebar to handlebar. Lechien stops Holland, and Johnson goes by in a second. Whoa, Nelly. It is Lechien in front, Kawasaki, and Johnson on his back tire. And Holland is running 3rd, and suddenly the cast has changed, and it's Lechien on the green Kawasaki in front with Johnson on his back tire. Lechien went by Holland slicker than a mayonnaise sandwich. Beautiful pass. And now it is Johnson's turn to stalk Lechien. But Johnson goes by. Lechien goes back in front. Johnson tried to go by on the outside. Lechien blocked him beautifully. And Lechien goes down. And that's what happens when somebody like Ricky Johnson puts some pressure on you. Lechien went down faster than anybody I've seen in Supercross. The front wheel washed out, and he slammed into the ground. And it is Ricky Johnson in front. The main event at the Meadowlands Supercross, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Ricky Johnson in front. Is that the way it's going to end? There's Lechien. Let's take a look back at that crash of Lechien. Feeling the pressure of Johnson, the front wheel starts going down. He tries to save it, and the back wheel then slides out, and Lechien is down. He's down faster than a Mike Tyson opponent. So Ricky Johnson in front here, the Meadowlands, number 2. And there's Holland now trying to move up into 2nd spot. Looking strong, Holland in 2nd spot. He is chasing his teammate Ricky Johnson. So George Holland playing a bridesmaid's role tonight here for Ricky Johnson. Ricky Johnson with a tremendous lead way out in front. The question, can anybody get by George Holland for 2nd? There's Schmidt, 19, trying to move up. But right now it's Ricky Johnson's race here. Whoa! Well, wait a minute! Johnson faltered there, and Holland comes up behind him. What happened to Johnson? He didn't go down, but he stalled the bike. And Holland is going to take the lead! As the Honda mechanics are pulling their hair out, they got their 2 superstars battling each other. And Holland tries to stop Johnson in the tunnel. Wait a minute here, folks. Holland is in front, and Johnson's saying this is not supposed to happen. And remember that Holland is riding with a badly injured shoulder, and he's right in the middle of contention for that 125 national title, as Myers told you earlier. Johnson moves Holland to the outside, goes by him. Johnson in front, but Holland is dogging him, putting the pressure on Ricky Johnson. And Johnson's not used to this, especially from his teaming. Now, Johnson starts to pull away. Holland in 2nd spot. George Holland from Kerman, California, Northern California farming community outside Sacramento. But it's Ricky Johnson's show at this point. Johnson knows that he's got to finish and finish strong, and he will take the number 1 plate with Ward not starting the main. But if Johnson does not win and Ward can come back at Los Angeles, then the Supercross Championship is still up for grabs, and Johnson doesn't want to have to go back to LA and win it. So Ricky Johnson is faced with a dilemma. He's got to ride a strong race, but also a conservative race. He saw what happened to Ward in a freak accident in his seat, apparently a broken ankle. So George Holland in 2nd spot. There's Matasevich, 201 in 3rd, and behind him, Johnny O'Mara, the O-Show, in 4th spot. And the pressure is on. Johnson is way out in front. The battle right now is for 2nd spot. And if something happens to Johnson, any one of these 4 riders could win it. George Holland, number 3, nursing a badly bruised shoulder, an injured shoulder, in second spot. Metasevich behind him. Johnny O'Mara behind him. And Lease moving up through the pack. Don't discount Lease. And there's Johnny O'Mara, and there comes Lease. Number 7, Lease has gone in front of O'Mara. Lease has gone to 4th spot. Holland, Metasevich, then Lease, then Johnny O'Mara. There they are. Motorized pogo sticks over this very tough John Savitskyville track. Larry Huffman calling the action from the Meadowlands Supercross. Holland has got to be getting sore now. That shoulder has got to be throbbing, taking a tremendous beating. There's Metasevich, almost goes over backwards. Metasevich, a good young rider. I believe he's 18 years old now, just turned 18, and he's got the pressure of Jeff Lease behind him, the young Australian national champion. There goes Lease. He's got Metasevich. So Lease has gone to 3rd, Metasevich 4th, and here's Johnny O'Mara. O'Mara goes in front of Metasevich, and suddenly Metasevich goes from 3rd to 5th. Ricky Johnson, number 2, way out in front. George Holland in 2nd spot. And now it's wide open for Honda as Lease goes into 3rd. It is a Honda 1, 2, 3 freight train. But this is the rider who's out in front, Ricky Johnson. He's now, that's it, waving to the crowd responding. They love him here in New Jersey. When Ricky's out in front far enough, he will start showboating, and he's doing it tonight. Holland is not showboating. He's trying to hold on a second with his teeth. And Lease, number 7, behind him, trying to take it away from Holland. Johnson going for the checkered flag here tonight at the Meadowlands. Whoa, sideways, feet off the pegs, waving to the crowd. Ricky's got to keep in mind what happened to Jeff Ward in his race. Jeff was not showboating. He landed hard. There's a no-hander on the jump. Very few people in the world can do this. Don't try it unless you're a pro of the caliber of Ricky Johnson or Jeff Ward. The checkered flag comes out, and Johnson takes it, the Meadowlands. It's going to be a sweep. Holland 2nd for Honda. Holland takes it, a very strong win for the young man from Kerman, California. And Lease is 3rd.
What a great ride. Rick, you know, unofficially, of course, I believe you've also wrapped up the national championship.
Well, I don't know about that, Larry, but I felt all right out there today. I just feel bad that Jeff Ward got hurt and he couldn't be out here riding tonight, but I'm real happy to see my other teammates up here in the winner's circle. It's just a real charge. When I was out in front, I was watching them.
You don't know about that. Here's Brian Lunas, the man that turns the wrenches. Is number 1 officially in the Honda camp for 1988?
I don't know, Larry. We haven't conferred to be sure, but...
Come on, quit pulling my leg. You know the exact points. What are they, Looney?
Well, we had 15 going in here, and we 25 tonight, and there's only 25 left, so I guess we could kind of say that.
I guess we can. Rick Johnson, the 1988 national champion. Rick, great ride. Let me talk to George Holland, finishing 2nd. George, you said you had a sore shoulder, and you just didn't even know whether or not, poor baby, that you'd be able to ride that main event.
Yeah, it was really sore, Larry, but I just went out there and I told myself I was going to try to get a good start and just try to ride smooth the whole race without irritating it. And I got the whole shot and I just rode smooth and I hardly ever irritated out there, so it worked out great.
RJ went down and you were back into the lead. Now let me ask you, did visions of grandeur just kind of flash right in front of your eyes?
Well, I saw him down, so I thought, well, I'm going to go for the lead, but I knew he was going to get me, so there's no holding him back.
You did the right thing.
That's true.
Okay, let me slide on over here and talk to the Australian national champion that finished in number 3 spot. And Jeff Lease, ladies and gentlemen, he came from a long way to get here, Australia, but from a long way back in the pack. Not one of your best starts, but a great ride, Jeff.
Yeah, I got a terrible start, but I felt good tonight, and I worked through the pack, had a couple lucky breaks, and boy, I'm just glad. You know, it's great for Team Honda to have all 3 riders up here. I'm really pumped.